What is much more serious than people realize? Well, first I was gonna pop this guy hanging from the street light, and I realized, he's just working out. I mean, how would I feel if somebody come running in the gym and bust me in my ass while I'm on the treadmill? Then I saw this snarling beast guy, and I noticed he had a tissue in his hand, and I'm realizing, he's not snarling, he's sneezing. Ain't no real threat there. Then I saw little Tiffany. I'm thinking, 8-year-old white girl, middle of the ghetto, bunch of monsters, this time of night with quantum physics books? She about to start some shit, Zed. She's about 8 years old, those books are way too advanced for her. If you ask me, I'd say she's up to something. And to be honest, I'd appreciate it if you eased up off my back about it. GT, cheaper to see a doctor now than go on dialysis. I get the logic behind this, I really do, but it's kind of a meaningless sentiment when applied to reality. Buying a new Kia is cheaper than buying an old Jeep, but what good does that do me if I can't afford a new Kia? It costs $100 minimum for the appointment just to see the doctor or nurse who will tell me what doctor or practice I need to visit in order to have my symptoms addressed, and that's with health insurance. $100 is a lot of money to me, but never mind that I have to have spent over $6,000 towards medical care before my health insurance pays for anything. That is a huge chunk of my income. An expense of $100 beyond my regular budget means I'm probably going to end up paying some sort of late fee or NSF charge on something else. $6,000 out of my annual budget would mean I'm homeless and probably lost my kids as well. So yeah, that pain in my abdomen, you're right, it's probably cheaper for me to see a doctor than potentially be on dialysis. But what if it's just a kidney stone? I spent $400 I didn't have in order to find out, am an additional $2,000 in debt to the radiology lab, and still have a fucking pain in my abdomen because it's just a kidney stone and I don't belong to the part of society that can afford to do anything about them. That's where I'm at. That's where millions of Americans are at, and it fucking sucks, bro.
Hey guys, much like you, I love reading people's stories on Ask Reddit. Unfortunately, there's a lot of weird middle school level, just thought experiment type hypotheticals like nice try Baskin Robbins. I don't find this compelling, so that's why I've made it my mission to trawl and crawl through Ask Reddit and find the very best content and put it in your ears. That's why I'm begging you, like and subscribe. If there's anything I can do to help you out, give you the kind of content that you crave to help you get through your workday, let me know in a comment. But please, like and subscribe.
Ocean acidification. Soon the water will be too acidic for the tiniest, most numerous animals to make shells out of calcium. Coral reefs will all melt away. The largest and most complex food chain on our planet will start breaking down. You think the disappearance of bees is bad? Wait till we feel the effects of a dead ocean. Distracted driving. That other shit can wait, or you can get the fuck off the road for a minute. Nice to see so much agreement. I'm on a bike more than I'm in a car and I see everybody messing with their phones. And even at red lights, it's important to keep your eyes on the road to see pedestrians and cyclists or whatever else may be happening when you drop the phone and punch the gas. Unless you're parked, you need to be attentively operating that potentially deadly vehicle at all times. I knew I'd be at work a lot, so I got an older, small dog that I knew would require less attention than a puppy or a young, energetic or large dog. He's freaking awesome. He's got the cats to hang out with all day, then I come home and we go outside together for a while, and he sleeps on the bed with me at night. On my days off, we take long, slow walks around a nearby lake. Point is, there are dogs for all lifestyles and there might just be a dog for you one day. So many pictures. Here's Roscoe after being groomed chilling on a walk, and being sniffed by a foal. And bonus cat pictures, my princess, Chip, and my chill big dude, Palmer. I want a dog so much. I love the little fuckers, every one. But goddamn it, I think about owning one and think about being at work all day and leaving it alone in my apartment, and I just can't handle the idea and don't get a dog. Seems way too cruel and I don't know how people do it. Safety measures when using power tools. No, sunglasses are not the same as eye protection when you're using a chainsaw. They're not just for dust and grit, they're there so if the chain snapped it doesn't embed itself in your fucking face. No, you cannot run the sander on your skin cause you're curious what it feels like ripped off skin. No, you cannot keep a loose grip on the drill, its whole job is to accelerate pointy bits of metal to what I like to call murder speed. Bottom line, if it has a fucking engine in it, treat it with respect, read all the rules, and follow them because it is fucking dangerous. And the real scary thing is that you don't feel anything wrong until shit really starts going wrong. Hell, I feel better when my blood sugar is high, because that is what my body is used to. but in the long term it would kill me. You could easily ignore it until you start losing your sight, or feeling in your feet, or other irreversible damage. By then it is too late to fix. Social hysteria. Every week the news and internet are buzzing with some new outrage. Everyone's mad but no one can clearly define why. Critical thinking and questioning is going out the window. Large groups of pissed off people are never any good. Highest comment spawns a megabyte discussion. This is why I love Reddit. I work in an animal shelter. We get owners surrendering dogs for the stupidest reasons. We didn't realize she'd get so big. Her nails scratch our hardwood floors. He was cute when he was a puppy, but now he's kind of ugly. These are all things I have actually heard people say. It's infuriating and disheartening.
Hey guys, do you ever have a problem getting to sleep at night? Well, I've got the magic pill to cure your insomnia. Much like you, I used to twist and turn all night. But then I discovered that you can take melatonin and Valerian Root together to get a good night's sleep every single night. I've been taking it every night by for years and years. I've been taking Valerian and melatonin, and this is my life hack to get a good night's sleep and vivid dreams every night. So be sure to click my affiliate links, and I will give you the gift of a good night's sleep.
The best analogy comparison I have heard about depression is that it's like a mental sunburn. When you have a sunburn and every normal thing that happens to you every day is just too much, like touching, moving or sleeping. The littlest things that wouldn't bother anyone without the sunburn are sometimes excruciating. With depression, everyday thoughts, interactions, decisions and/or feelings can be too much. Too painful. Too exhausting. If you do something as normal as touch my sunburnt shoulder, I might cry, just like if you do something as normal as starting an everyday conversation with me and my sunburnt depressed brain, I might cry. For seemingly zero reason. I heard this comparison years ago, by a soap opera star on Oprah, in all places, and I don't know if I articulated it well here or not, and felt like someone had just described exactly what I felt like but never knew the words to say. How much the media is spreading studies and lab tests that were done incorrectly. Almost every time you see studies show on the Today Show, you are about to hear straight lies. The scientists conducting these experiments have used false test results, small sample sizes, and sometimes don't use a control, resulting in unreliable data. It seems these days everything causes cancer and cures it because of this shit. Antibiotic use in cattle is absurd and is mostly to blame for this. It's not that the use is directly affecting humans. It's that the overuse of antibiotics leads to antibiotic resistance in microorganisms in these animals. MRSA, VRSA, Google any of those and you can learn more. Also, there are a couple PBS documentaries that talk about the lack of financial benefit from pharmaceutical companies to produce new antibiotics. It's not good. I was unaware I was a type 1 diabetic until I almost died. I didn't know it, but I was sleeping 17 hours a day, barely eating, and drinking gallons of water. After going to a doctor, was misdiagnosed, and was on the verge of death. Eventually, I was checked into the emergency pediatric care, and survived after a few weeks. If you are feeling tired always, drinking too much water, or just feel terrible, get yourself tested before it's too late. Please. I'm doing my best to answer your questions. I know what it feels like to go through weird changes with your body and health alone. I'm here for you, so fire away. I was given some suggestions to put in as more symptoms, so here you go. Feeling very thirsty. Urinating more frequently than usual, particularly at night. Feeling very tired. Weight loss and loss of muscle bulk. Itchiness around the genital area, or regular bouts of thrush, a yeast infection. Blurred vision caused by the lens of your eye changing shape. Slow healing of cuts and grazes. Extreme irritability. Black mold forming on toilet. Also, drinking a lot of water isn't always bad. It's when combined with the insatiable thirst, or the non-stop desire, that makes it bad. And always better to be safe than sorry. See a doctor. Final, I was misdiagnosed as a type 2 due to my former weight. If you think should I get tested again, the answer is yes. Glad to hear survivor stories, sad to hear of those who passed away. Be smart. Stay safe. I owned a terminally stupid beagle named Max. I once got a call from my neighbor asking me if I'd come get him because he was trying to teach the lambs how to play fetch and crying when they wouldn't play. He smelled amazing. When we got him home, short-term stress is okay. It increases productivity and such. The real problem is long-term stress. It affects life expectancy while impacting your cardiovascular system and more. Edit, to expand my point a bit, stress also can cause depression, It affects the immune system, which makes you more vulnerable to colds and such. It can also speed up the process of cancer cell growth. Not to mention the negative impacts it leads on your social life. So, take it easy guys. Try a mentally retarded border collie, endless energy but has to be put into a run at night, or he turns up at someone else's property 30 kilometers away overnight or during a thunderstorm. Also runs into shit cause he doesn't look where he's going and gives you a look like it's your fault. This asshole right here, I don't understand, and I've been living here my whole life. I'm reminded of this quote. GT, socialism never took root in America because the poor see themselves not as an exploited proletariat, but as temporarily embarrassed millionaires. I think there are people who believe that they have more in common with Trump than they really do, and they are willing to excuse his flaws because they think they can trust him. And of course he is good at feeding their fear and anger. Lots of similarities to 1930s Germany in that way. I figured this out firsthand after about a year of depression. It's a bitch having to relearn things that used to come as naturally as wiping your ass. Edit: if I can do it, anyone can. I was in the throes of amphetamine psychosis a year ago. During this time I was gaslighted for several months. This affords you a particularly fucked up brand of trust issue unsociability. I'm doing just fine now. Fuck drugs. There are some issues with scientific work currently due to the publish or perish dynamic, but you're overstating it and getting the problem backwards. The media is the primary source of the problem. A study might say something highly specific, like small amounts of red wine may increase longevity in rats. It then goes through a chain of people for some media organization like this. Small amounts of red wine may make rats live longer. Red wine may make rats live longer. Red wine makes rats live longer. Red wine makes you live longer. Morning news station, drink up ladies. The scientist isn't the one misreporting it. Most studies are misreported on. You aren't going to find those false facts in that paper, or they're at least going to have a lot more context and nuance to them.
Did you know that when you drink tea from a tea bag, especially a cheap tea bag, you are exposing yourself to microplastics greater in quantity than from any other source? Microplastics are the number one health risk of our generation, and they will have unknown consequences on future generations. So, if you value your health, destroy your tea bags. But that doesn't mean you can't enjoy great tea. I'm going to post affiliate links for my own homebrew loose leaf tea concoction that I drink every single day. It has no microplastics, and it honestly tastes better than tea from a tea bag ever did. So be sure to click the links below and get on the loose leaf tea train to avoid poisoning yourself and your children.
Driving in general, but tailgating is another one people dismiss way too easily. Tailgating is a terrible, dangerous habit that makes traffic worse. You don't go any faster on their bumper, it only puts you in a position where you either overbrake, slowing traffic flow, or get in an accident, slowing traffic flow and possibly injuring someone. One other small note on what I'm seeing in the comments. Part of the reason you leave that space is for people to change lanes and move around. People need to change lanes for traffic to flow. As long as they aren't going slower than you when they move over, they're doing it right. One more point I'm seeing a lot: the worst people on the road to tailgate are the ones going under the speed limit, especially in left lanes. As you're probably yelling at them learn to drive, you are well aware they don't know what they're doing, they're generally lost or terrified, and are the most likely people to lock up their brakes for no reason. Again, tailgating doesn't change your speed or theirs, it accomplishes absolutely nothing other than putting yourself and those around you in danger. Female on male hitting. My partner had a girlfriend in high school who did a lot of slapping and name-calling, and it took years before it finally sank in that it wasn't okay. Sometimes I think it might have messed with him more than he realizes, since he seems to expect me to explode at the drop of a hat. It honestly breaks my heart. When you have a real emotional connection with the dog, getting up to walk it at 5:30 in the morning becomes a lot easier, and all the difficulties don't seem so bad. I'm not saying get a dog or having a dog is easy, it's not. He costs over $1,000 in medical a year. Doing it right is truly rewarding though. Did the math, costs a little less than I originally thought. Social media and one's internet footprint. Many people undermine the impacts and consequences of posting things in the heat of the moment or harmless comments which could eventually cost them their jobs by thinking that they are protected under the broad and ambiguous term of freedom of speech.
If there's ever a fly, or a mosquito, or like a yellow jacket, or some weird unknown insect in my house, my wife will not leave me alone until it is dead.
and she will blame me personally for having a house that an insect entered. The only way that I'm able to buy peace for myself so that I can work on this YouTube channel that you enjoy is by using an electric fly swatter with an affiliate link in the description. The way this fly swatter works is that you hold down the little button and then you whack the fly as if it were a tennis ball, and it looks like a tennis racket. And what the electricity does is it stuns the insect or kills it so that you can clean it up easily. And the fact that it's a tennis racket gives you a much better chance of actually hitting the insect. And I found it invaluable, and I hope that you will decide to also use it in your home. And, if you're like a teenage boy, you can also whack other teenage boys with it. We used to do that in the Boy Scouts.